Hello, everyone. Welcome to Varese, Italy. Week number 3 on the ISU Junior Grand Prix. I'm Ted Bart along with Mark Hanready. Finally, he's joining me, but he's dressed for the beach. I'm dressed for the rink. Here we go. Mark, up first is the rhythm dance. What can we expect? Are there any favorites coming in?
Well, rhythm dance starting the event, that in itself is different to the first 2 Junior Grand Prix of the season. And they're probably the favourites would be from France, Ambre, Perrier, Gianesini and Samuel Blanc Klaperman. But as we've seen in the first 2 competitions, the ice dance event seems a little bit more open than it has been in previous seasons. So lots to play for.
Well, last week in Ankara, of course, we talked a little bit about the unknown North Americans, both the Americans and the Canadians, and they were up at the top of the standing. So we don't know what's really going to happen here. It's going to be interesting indeed. 20 teams from 17 nations. The rhythm dance starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Varese, Italy, in week number 3 on the ISU Junior Grand Prix as we fly over the A5 Arena here in Varese. It's a beautiful day. There's a horse track below us. You can see the horses coming around the track there. Oh, no, those are the lights. But there are horses. But there are horses out there. We saw them. We saw them walking them across the street. Okay, good start to the show, that's for sure. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at the officials for this event there. And we always thank them for their time that spend away from family and from work to make all of this happen, the technical panel as well. Welcome, Mark, and thank you for joining me here on site here.
Oh, what a pleasure to be here, Ted. Great to be in Varese with this amazing Italian production team, and actually we're very close to the amazing team, so perhaps we should apologize in advance for the number of times which we acknowledge their brilliance as we look at the starting order for the ice dance and rhythm dance.
Does that mean because we want to be in good
we're in good favor with the team?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
they're epic.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're talking dance here now. We've been watching a little bit of the practices, and one of the things we also talked about in relationship to 2030, and we'll get to some questions a little bit later, is the use of AI. And we've talked about this throughout the first couple weeks. How do you see this working in ice dance? Because we understand clearly what it could be for pairs and singles. What about dance?
Yeah, and indeed, it wasn't until we've been here in Varese where that has even been brought into question for me, because I am, as much as I adore the sport and I adore the people in the sport, I am not the great visionary that you are, Ted, so I couldn't quite comprehend how indeed artificial intelligence could be used to facilitate more transparency and better scoring essentially in the ice dance competition. However, fortunately there are people that have greater imaginations than I, and they've started to consider the ways in which potentially AI could be used to call key points within the pattern dance sections of the rhythm dance, which we will see and discuss throughout this event, and also potentially to discuss the clarity of edge in the step sequences, which has a knock-on impact on the level of the element and thus the score for the skaters. And I'm not sure how that would be done, because it hasn't been done, but the concept that we could have no subjectivity regarding the key points or the step level is really exciting. I think it's incredibly exciting. And when we think about, we're watching the juniors now, and of course it means everything to these skaters, what the levels they get, and they've worked so hard to try to up their levels. But if I think about the Olympic season and the Olympic cycle, and we have so many amazing teams that have devoted their lives to it, many of whom have had multiple Olympic cycles, if we could go to that Olympic Games in Milano Cortina, not far from here, and know that there was no debate over the levels, I think that would be wonderful for the skaters. I also actually think it'd be wonderful for the technical panels, because the technical panels work very, very hard. They give up, as you said, all their time and energy. For them, if a technical panel member knew, oh, there's no debate, I don't have to worry, it's not a question mark, the level is the level based on the clarity of the edge set as defined by the AI, I think they would probably be quite happy.
Yeah, I had some discussions here, and I think that and we talked about the technical panel last week, I think, or maybe the week before that, in ice dance. Those are the things that are the hardest for them. They do the very best they do. They do an excellent job. But the angle in which they sit is different every week. And the camera angle can be slightly different. So what they see live and then what they see in the review are different points of view. So having that clarity with, if there was technology to be able to determine this is a This is an outside edge. It's an inside edge. The key point is yes, and it's for sure. This would be good for the panel. This would be good for skating, and we'll see. We'll see how it's discovered. But we're bringing up the topic, how it can be applied in other disciplines, and it was interesting that people discussed that.
Yeah.
How it could be used in dance. So that's cool.
And I mean, as we look at the dancers now, we're coming up to, I think, step 11 to 13. This inside shock and the step back, that is a key point. And we've noticed within the first 2 Junior Grand Prix events of this 2025 season already that perhaps the first ice dance panel were a little stricter than the panel that were officiating over the event in Ankara last week. Now, that's because in regarding the clarity of the turns or the edges, some might require a deeper ankle of edge set that it's harder to specify, whereas if you had a monitor on the blade, then that could...
Well, I think the big thing is that, stricter. I don't know if they were stricter or not, but their point of view might have been different than the other week. So I think that is, that point of view of which the technical panel and even the camera angle can be slightly different. So I think in all fairness to the technical panels, they're doing the best they can with the resources they have. Their eyes live and then the review of the camera. So obviously this is not a perfect system. It's a better system. It's a good system. It's not perfect. AI should help to make some of those difficult calls a little bit more accurate. We'll see. And not just in dance, of course. So, okay, enough of that.
I've got to shout out to then, we've had some amazing discussions this week regarding the system, and some people will still refer to this as the new system because our sport has been in place
25.
for 100 years, but already now this supposed new system is not far off a quarter century old.
Totally.
And so the concept of further development of it is wonderful, but also not surprising because if it's had 20 years already, it's...
No, absolutely. The technology will help, and I think they'll take a look at how the sport can be better presented and everything. The Vision 2030 is excellent from the perspective that they're opening their minds to the possibilities of how to be more accurate and how to engage the audience more. That's not a bad thing. It's talking about it and figuring out what's going to be in the best interest of the sport. So we'll see what happens with all of that as we move along.
And Vision 2030 from the International Skating Union has various different pillars, and one of them is growth, but one of them is innovation, and it's evolving the skating product to be relevant to the next generation and to innovate our way of working. That is part of what the ISU are working so hard to offer.
Here we go, the rhythm dance, the first event here on day number 1. It's a beautiful arena we can see outside across to the horse track where there are horses sometimes. Absolutely. Our first team represents Austria, 18-year-old Anita Straub, 21-year-old Andreas Straub, brother-sister team, of course, 5th in week 1 in Riga.
Anita and Andreas have new ISU recognized personal best from their participation in Riga. 5th place there, hoping to come away with a medal from Varese.
pasito para atrás. 1, 2, 3, un pasito para adelante, María. 1, 2, 3, un pasito
Anita Straub and her brother Andreas Straub. And I think I said this when they performed in Riga, Ted, but because I've seen Anita and Andreas on the Junior Grand Prix circuit for a few seasons now, I feel so invested in wanting to see them succeed. And I know that having been, you know, they were 5th in Riga and then they'd previously been 4th in Ostrava last season, so they will be coming into this event in, you know, one of their last Junior Grand Prix assignments. I actually just need to check. Oh, I think they've got one more year in juniors, but you know, they're closing toward the end of their junior career, and I know they will be so desperately keen to come away with a medal. We obviously were able to hear what the technical panel were considering for the levels. Currently, it wasn't hugely successful in regards to the levels that they've achieved. So that we'll see how that will then transcend through the event. But this couple do have a more senior cemented look that are been together obviously longer than many of the teams we will see competing in this event, and thus they're able to skate close together in this non-touch midline step sequence. Just work through the right forward outside twizzle, and here the first of the pattern dance elements, the rumba, and unfortunately none of the chop toss section was deemed callable for the key point, and the key point certain steps which will up the level and thus the points as we look at the rotational lift, in which Andreas pushing to cover more and more ice so that he can enhance the grade of execution for that, the final element of their rhythm dance. And it will be that fine detail, the grades of execution, and of course the levels which will dictate the result of which they are trying to achieve a personal best. And they achieved a personal best at that event in Ostrava where they were 4th last year, 53.34. Such a wonderful coach, responsible for the winners in last week's event, Irina Pergina and Artem Kaval. So they know that they're definitely in good hands.
Oh, there's the score for Anita and Andreas, 51.86. They are the first team out in the rhythm dance today.
And now to the Hungarian team, Aletta, Lanyi and Huba, Gallai. A couple that have been competing for 4 years as an ice dance partnership, but this, their first year as juniors, and they earned their spot competing in Varese on their Junior Grand Prix, first Junior Grand Prix at the Hungarian test skate, middle of August. And they skate to Groove is in the Heart and moving on up.
your groove. I do deeply dig. No walls, only the bridge. My supper dish, my crocketesh wish.
Sing it, baby.
I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another.
Check it out. Dig me now. Never ever have I seen an earth girl quite like you. You excite my receptors and make my electrodes through. And with that enormous rhythm pulsating, girl, you've got to scream. Pass me that bottle, baby. Yeah. Dig.
Groovers in the heart. Groovers in the heart. Groovers in the heart.
Ask for mama.
Groovers in the heart.
Y'all are great.
You've done me wrong, your time is up. Move right out of here, baby, go and pack your bags. Just who do you think you are? Stop acting like some kind of star. Just who do you think you are? This time you've gone too far. Just who do you think you are? Take it like a man, baby, if that's what you want, 'cause I'm moving, moving now, moving. Nothing can stop me, moving, moving now. Time to break free. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me. Moving, moving now. Time to break free. Nothing can stop me.
Aletta, Lanyi and Huba, Gallai, and I so enjoyed the musical phrasing throughout their rhythm dance. Each of the elements phrased perfectly with the music and constructed in a way that allows the judges to give a positive feature regarding that aspect of the construction and the composition of the program. And I also was really mindful that Aletta, both partners performed, but Aletta looked totally at home on this stage performing as a nice dancer. You can see that from the very start position here, oozing a sense of projection towards the judging panel. They perform with a conviction and confidence belying their tender age, just 13 and 17 years old. Here, again, these the steps, this inside edge to right back outside edge and back to the left forward inside edge. That's a key point. And then here the inside 3 turn. Unfortunately, as with the first team, the Austrian team, no key points delivered on that, so difficult to achieve. Here a little, a little break in the rotation there for Aletta. That will be a drop in level. Most of the couples will be aspiring, well, all the couples will be aspiring for level 4 as we see the rotation lift. And maybe just back of shot, you'll see their coaches encouraging them there ringside, living the moment. And look at that conviction there. Great work. Nora Hoffman and Michael Gianesini, the coaches. We were watching earlier this week videos of ISU promo videos in which their coach Nora Hoffman was a part of, and certainly getting the confidence of performance demonstrated brilliantly. And joined by Francesco Fioretti, who's choreographed their rhythm dance as well, so great staff behind the skaters. And this team coming in as relatively young juniors, as I say, 13 and 17. They can hopefully go on to carve a really successful junior career, preparing themselves for the senior rank, should that be what they aspire to do in their future. But that's a very good start.
I'm on an island
and Aletta and Huba competed at an ice dance event in Dordrecht very early on in this season, and actually some of the other teams that have competed in this event, they competed at that competition too. And actually Aletta and Huba, as I've looked back over their experiences, a lot of them competed as novices together as well, so many of these teams will have come face to face before.
Well, there's a score, 42.67 for Aletta and Huba. That'll put them into second place. They are the second team out in this event.
And so from a Hungarian team to the team representing the United States of America, Annelise, Stapert and Maxim Korotcov. And this team were fifth in Ankara, which they described as an amazing experience. A strong debut in the Junior Grand Prix, hoping to be followed up with even more success in Varese as they skate to step-by-step games and groove is in the heart again.
Step by step, ooh baby, gonna get to you, girl. Step by step.
years old, and Lucia explaining that they've been best friends since then. Now best friends united to represent their country internationally at the Junior Grand Prix. Lucia, Stefanovova and Jacopo Boeris representing Slovakia. As I say, a team that have known, they're just 16, but they've known each other for over a decade. And Lucia was so keen to express the friendship that they have. And then I think how amazing that that friendship cultivated over a decade can, you know, be celebrated on YouTube.
You could see how see how comfortable they are with each other on the ice. They know where each other is, so that longevity has served them well up to this point.
And indeed, Jacopo has a twin who also skates, so the friendship is shared amongst them all. As former world champion Luca Lanotti, one of their coaches, greets them ringside, and he looks happy. So former world champion is happy.
It must be good.
Pretty good, yeah. And obviously here in the slow-mo, you can see ever so slightly out of synchronicity, but managing to bring it back as they too use that difficult feature of staying on one foot for the first and second, which was the Group C feature. It's a level 2 assigned. That's currently being reviewed by the technical panel. As we get a little look at the straight line lift, it must be under 8 seconds for the straight line lift for all of the teams. And here, a little steps 11, 12, and 13 of the run, but just look at the angle and clarity of the edges, and there the inside 3 turn, I could see a little bit of a scratch in the blade on that turn, and that'll be the reason why that wasn't assigned as a clean key point for the team. Fun to see all the choreo. There's a lovely, really cool post step at the end of the non-touch midline that I want to review again. As we see Lucia Kalkakova and and Luca Lenotti. So you train in Slovakia with Lucy in Bratislava, where they're high school students. They spent most of the summer in Milan with Luca, so I'm sure feel somewhat at home and comfortable competing in Italy, having spent so much of the summer here.
Yeah, it's a nice break, and they're with a different, dance environment, and it's a good time of the year to have a break away from maybe where you're training and get somewhere else, get new ideas. And
interestingly, seeing Luca here, there are so many Italian male ice dance coaches at this event. It's like
I know.
a
Reunion
of multiple generations of very successful male Italian ice dancers now on the coaching staff of the next generation.
Well, Italy has done so well in skating. When you think of many years ago, well, not even that many years ago, but they're strong in pairs, they're strong in women, they're strong in men, and they're strong in dance. And that wasn't always the case. In fact, dance had come along. They've always sort of had some strength in that. But all 4 disciplines, and they're on a mission, and they have really good people who are former judges and now working with the organization, and they have a very, very good program. And they're a strong team, and they're going to be a strong threat in the team event at the Olympics.
I've heard many people suggest that the Italian team could be contenders for medals in Milano Cortina, and I'm sure that will delight an audience at the Olympic Winter Games in February next year in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, whenever you have a home games, the government, everybody gets involved. If you've got to, focus the next 4 years and get ready, and they're ready. We'll see what happens, but they're on a mission, and it's here at home, and that's going to be exciting. We'll all be watching from afar. Always love the Olympic Games.
Oh, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's great. 44.71 for Lucia and Jacopo, and that'll put them currently into 3rd place. There's our next team representing Czechia, 19-year-old Diane Sznajder and 18-year-old Jachym Novak. This is their first junior Grand Prix event. They are ranked 3rd in junior in Czechia.
And following the Czech monitoring event by the Czech Figure Skating Federation, they came in now as the top Czech ice dance team for the Junior Grand Prix this season, skating to What Is Love and Canned Heat.
What is love?
Diane Sznajder and Jachym Novak representing Czechia. And Ted, I just thought Diane looked so happy, whether or not it was just performance, and she had, I mean, that's what is essentially necessary for this 90s themed rhythm dance this season, uplifting, high energy. I'm not sure if it was living the character of the performance or just genuinely so happy to be competing in their first Junior Grand Prix. But
probably a combination of both.
Yeah.
I mean, be here is exciting, but also to have the type of music that lets you loose, right?
Yes.
And lets you really. Otherwise, why do dance if you don't enjoy it? It doesn't make sense. Right?
Yeah. And this, this team just started skating together in last September, so they've only been together a year, and already, they've scaled the rankings within the Czech Figure Skating Federation. As we look back at some of the highlights from this performance, major energy there from Jachym. And you could just see, as we'll see with all of the teams, a little bit more energy at the opening. As we look, this is step 11, forward inside edge. There has to be a blade's length of distance between these edges when the foot places back down onto the ice. And then the inside 3-turn, that another key point.
No mistake, sorry.
Oh, it's all good.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, good extension of the cross underneath there from Diane. Good example of skating skills. You could just see here, I thought through the midline step sequence, the legs just starting to go ever so much. And I thought her performance level was so brilliant. I was wondering if she was breathing at all to get oxygen through to the legs. Legs just started to look a little less deep into the knee and the ankle laterally in the performance, which is normal, so very expected. As we see, rotational lift. Nice position. Really difficult exit into a level 4 with a 0.75 addition to the score of the element based on the grade of execution. So the judge is happy that there were sufficient positive features, as Novak, their coach and choreographer, joins them. Katarina Dushka also on the coaching staff.
I think the great thing, about dance is you've got to love to dance to do it. All right, so that's why you get attracted to the discipline. Then when it all comes together in an event, but then the scores can either add to the joy or take away from the joy a little bit. As we take a 53.96, that is second in the rhythm dance in the first group, and they look really happy with the score, and of course they look really happy in performance as well. So all round, well done.
It just makes me happy to see happy skaters too. It's wonderful.
A lot of happiness going on.
Well, I'm here for that. I'm here for happy vibes, good vibes.
And that concludes the first group as we see the Take You to the Ice group number 2. There's your standing so far. Annelise and Maxim from the United States with 57.77 of the lead, but some good teams yet to come. And some teams we haven't really seen too much of, so we may get some surprises.
Yeah, I just feel aware that on this Junior Grand Prix series this year, that there is an opening that I haven't been as mindful of over the past 3 seasons when I've joined you on the Junior Grand Prix 10. And it just seems like maybe Daria Grimm and Mikhail Savitsky, who were bronze medalists at the Junior World Championships, they were part of that, the 3 seasons that I've done. So there were some faces, the likes of that, which we saw repeatedly and regularly. Now there's a little bit more of an opening. However, the team on screen now, Ambre, Perrier, Gianesini and Samuel Blanc Klaperman, probably come in here as the favourites, wanting to put themselves in contention, having achieved a silver medal last year. They were silver in Wuji and they were 4th in Ankara last year. So you have to assume then that given the dissipation of some of the top teams in the junior ranks, that they'll be wanting to be considered as the new big contenders.
Now, Mark, we've always had a little shout out for questions, right?
Yes.
Do we have any in yet, or early on in this event?
Yeah, we have a really interesting question, and it's a little bit different. We'll reference it in relation to ice dancers. The question comes, in the world of figure skating, if a junior skater or a team takes a full season off from competition, what are the potential long-term impacts on their career progression? How do these young skaters typically manage to regain their competitive edge and momentum after a significant
Well,
break?
sometimes a significant break is exactly what you need, but you
Yeah.
don't know it, because you always feel when you're young that first of all you like doing it, and you feel, oh, I need to do it, or if you get injured, you feel like, oh, I guess my career's over. I mean, all that negativity goes into your head, but in fact, this can be exhausting, not just physically but psychologically, because what is your life? It's school and it's skating. And it's skating, and it's school, and it's skating, and it's school. And so you're unaware of the fatigue that you're getting of doing the same thing, and sometimes you just need to get to the beach, or you just need some time off. So if they take a season off, quite often careers are sort of reborn with new energy, right?
And I think, in my head, I then go to the really good examples of skaters that are returning. So the obvious one to me would be Alyssa Liu, who had a break and had retired from the competitive arena, having had achieved her world bronze medal, came back last season, better than ever, won the world title.
So she was on the Junior Grand Prix for years, and I did a number of interviews with her, and she was so good, and it was amazing. Had quad lutz and the triple axe and all that kind of stuff like that. And I think through all the attention that fell onto her at such a young age, where she was just there loving it, and all of a sudden all this other stuff comes along of which you're not trained for. You're trained to skate. You're not trained to handle interviews and pressures and all that. And I think that was exhausting. I think she stepped away from it. Now she does it for the reason of love. And we have an American skater that's coming up a little bit later today that talked about one of the great things that she learned was to skate for herself and not for others.
Yeah.
And I think for many of these young skaters, they skate for mom and dad and brother and sister, for their federation because they've asked them to represent their country, for their schoolmates who are watching them and all thrilled for it. And so they they forget about why they're doing it, which is the love of it, and now have all those added things. And it's hard to sort of put that in perspective.
Yeah. And I mean, I think going back to the question, how do you regain? Check me out. Go back to the question. Trying to stay on point.
Good for you. I'm rambling on.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
I think in reference to juniors, so I was going to. Well, I did obviously mention Alyssa Liu, senior world champion. I'd be interested to see how Maya and Alex Shibutani, former Olympic bronze medalists, return to competition after a 7-year hiatus. But juniors, I think it's a little bit more challenging dependent upon their development within the sport. I think it could be more tricky if the skater hasn't fully amassed the repertoire of technical accomplishments necessary before they take that break.
Well, first of all, juniors, there's a lot more juniors around, so you have to fight for that position again. So when you're seniors, you're sort of already there. And the Shibutanis, they'll have a harder time, I would think, physically, not psychologically. They'll have the energy. This is cool, but they might might be behind in regards to the type of training you have to do to be at that high level. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but the juniors, I think for them it's harder because you're in the middle, you're in the thrill of it all, and then you got to take time away. I think that's hard.
Yeah, it's so interesting, and yet what I think is really important to acknowledge is that those watching, I think there are many skaters that will be watching who will see this and think, oh gosh, how lucky I was to once have that indulgence of time. I think we all look back with, wonderfully rose-tinted glasses thinking, oh, I wish I was back out there. That looks so fun. What an indulgence to represent your country and be wearing the nice costume and be in amazing physical condition.
Well, you're still there. You can point your toes and you're in good shape, but
heck, for me to get a 4-minute free dance done, whew.
Yeah, good point. And covering the ice more further past the blue line than you normally
After
do with
30
the ice
seconds,
shows. With the ice shows, Okay, here we go. Group number 2. Day number 1 here. Varese, Italy. Junior Grand Prix number 3. There's our next team representing Canada. Summer Humick and Nicholas Buelow, both 18 years of age, second Junior Grand Prix season, 7th last year in Gdansk. They're coached by Mitchell Islam and choreographed by Caitlin Weaver.
Summer and Nicholas will skate to Larger Than Life and Everybody.
I've been running high, screaming my name.
Summer Homick and Nicholas Buelow representing Canada, and I'd written down, Ted, how much I liked the way they interpreted the opening music and the musicality and the vocal, the laugh, and then the running high choreography to the lyric running high. But then I'd written that down, and then the whole program seemed to be perfectly musically phrased, musically annotated, and I thought they'd done a wonderful job. And you know, I didn't know what was necessarily 1990s vibe in terms of dance movement, but they gave me whatever I believe to be 1990s energy. That was a really well-constructed composition, in my opinion, for the 1990s.
Yeah, the energy looked natural for them. You know, that they were actually dancing it. Whether they got the technical calls and whatnot, different issue. But certainly the rhythm throughout the whole dance was carried nicely through them.
And look at this, like, so committed there to the Backstreet Boys vibe. And you know, if you're going to do Backstreet Boys, you've got to have a confidence. As we see, so look at these key points. And unfortunately for Summer and Nicholas, none of the key points over either of the pattern dance elements were given. So no key points. It was base level rumba, base level quick step. So technically it wasn't deemed to be as successful as that of some of the others that we've seen. But for me, from a composition perspective, it's easily been the best. And this totally, I'm sure last week we saw a single.
We did.
A difficult entry. Last week we saw a single salco. What are the ice dancers doing? Are we going to see loop entries and flip and loops?
How about oh, they can't do it.
Can't do more than one
single,
rotation.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it's fun. And actually, you know, tapping into their single skating prowess, Summer was a successful pair skater as well before they joined up. But here, I love that as you're, you know, capturing the energy, and it's interesting because even in terms of the posturing, the way in which they held their body, they did it in a more kind of relaxed, casual vibe, which that's perhaps why I'm so inclined to believe that it had that 1990s. It wasn't erect ice dance posture. It was befitting of what was necessary as they shaped their heart.
They look pretty happy in the Kiss and Cry City with Mitch Islam, their coach. He was a former international Olympian, actually, for Canada as well. Such a nice guy. He's doing a great job for the number of teams. His mom is an international judge. She was actually in Ankara. She judges pairs and singles. Here's a look at the scores for Summer and Nicholas. 56.90 on those key points. Probably knocked down the points a little bit. That's currently in second place. Just missing those key points. As you can see, just about 2 points off first place. But good job. Here's the next team. They represent France. Ambre, Perrier, Gianesini, and Samuel Blanc Klaperman, both 18 years old. They won the Winter Youth Olympic Games in 2024. This is their third Junior Grand Prix season. They were 10th at Junior Worlds.
And Ambre was explaining that after they tried out on a Thursday and Friday, she left her whole life to relocate to train together. Such was their belief in this team and their future. And we'll be hearing some of the same music for this performance.
Rock your body, everybody, rock your body right. Back streets back, alright. Hey, and are you crazy enough?
Ambre, Perrier, Gianesini and Samuel Blanc Klaperman representing France. And as I said, that I suspect, having been 10th at the Junior World Championships last season, that this team came into this event as favourites, and they're almost a victim of their own skating skills in what took place here. Their ice coverage.
Their own good skating skills.
Exactly, their own good skating skills. Their knee bend, their flow, their glide, better than the others that we've seen. Thus they justify better skating skills, but a little bit too good insofar as they crashed with the barrier and ran out of room.
Yeah, just covered that ice surface so well and kept that momentum going. And usually the skaters have a keen sense of exactly where they are in relationship to the ice, but that caught them off guard. Let's take a look at some of the elements here.
Look back, and obviously, we can make a direct comparison with the Backstreet Boys. Here we go. So, key point for man and woman. And now here, right inside 3-turn. So, oh my gosh, so close. Just ran out of room.
Yeah.
And that's, they have more experience than some of the other teams, but still young, still, coming to terms with the adrenaline of competing, or perhaps the pressure of being potential favourites. And you could see Samuel here, bringing it back in with the worm, very 90s vibe. But even within the midline, there was a little bit of a bobble for him there. And then Ambre, on the Group C feature of this sequential twizzle, she was a slight break in rotation there as well. So from a technical element score perspective, nothing like what they're capable of.
That has to be disconcerting when you have that fall early on. And, the dance is supposed to be energy and real and honest, but once you're carrying that disappointment, to get that little spark or that fire in you, it's really hard. They have a season's best of 62.39. That was last year, and this will fall quite short of that, of course, with that fall and how that affected the rest of the program as well.
But love to see connection between the team. I'm always so happy when you see unity in the team after a mistake. Nobody wants the mistake to happen.
No. And they're experienced, so they each of them have probably made mistakes before, so they know they just need to support each other.
Gosh, my partner was used to having to deal with my mistakes. Plenty of them.
There you go. Was there ever an expression that she would show you when she was
to be fair, in all respect to her, she managed to cope with my
constant mistakes?
Yeah. At least publicly she managed.
Yeah, it had a good face out in the public.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Marianne de l'Ascension, the coach, alongside Muriel Zazui and Olivia Schoenfelder and Emma Chirai, coaches that, the coaches that have created the great athletes, because these are great skaters. They'll know, though, now the psychology, it's not just about the technique of teaching the brilliant skating skills they've got. Marianne will be doing all that he can to help them stay positive.
Early in the season, good news, this is the Junior Grand Prix. It's not the Junior Worlds.
Yeah.
It's not the final. It's not their nationals, right? So this is part of that journey, preparing them for those key moments this year, which they need to perform. So, the whole year ahead of you. And welcome to the season with a bit of a shock, right?
And this will be one of those events that hopefully in due course Ambre and Samuel will look back on and think, oh yeah, remember that time in Varese when we ran out of rink?
Yeah,
and
let's stay away from that.
Yeah.
Those mistakes always teach you lessons.
Yes,
they always do. But you don't plan them, but they happen, and you need them.
So the technical panel, I'd be fascinated to hear what's going on, Ted, because
listen up. we can listen to the technical panel. We are doing that right now, just to hear the process that they're going through. There it is, the score, 53.18. That is fourth. And that is accurate to the situation that happened here. And that'll put them there. They are the top 5 teams so far in this event. And not so far away from the podium at this point, but we have a number of teams yet to come. Our next team represents Israel, 20-year-old Maria Nekhaeva and 19-year-old Dmytriy Kravchenko. They were 12th in week 1 in Riga on the Junior Grand Prix.
So a couple of weeks of training since their last Junior Grand Prix assignment. Maria and Dmytriy now coming back stronger. This is Kate to get ready, and you can't touch this. Israel's Maria Nekhaeva and Dmytriy Kravchenko complete their rhythm dance, and given that this team has been together for just a matter of months, 2 weeks since the Junior Grand Prix, and also the experience of a Junior Grand Prix will have given them a seismic progression, and I think that they're going to achieve a personal best here to boost upon what they achieved when they were in Riga in Latvia a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we saw them, you had mentioned off air that they touched in the midline step sequence. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, specifically to be a non-touch midline or diagonal step sequence. So it can come from that pattern, diagonal or midline. And it's a step sequence not touching. And it must be of the prescribed decade, it must be of 1990s, but to skate no more than 2 lengths apart. But of course, whilst you don't want to be too far apart, you're not meant to touch as we look back at the twizzles. Here. This perhaps we will see the discrepancy in the teams that have had more time together within the rumba and the quick step. This obviously now those that are newer to this sport will see that everybody's having to perform the exact same steps. And here, choosing to stop within the non-touch. Back Choctaws, one of the difficult turns. So, as I say, not touching, but no more than 2 arms length apart. So they shouldn't. So they're going to have a negative grade of execution
Because of that touch right there.
because of that. Now there are a whole lot of negative features and positive features that the judges have to be considering when they come to their final assessment of the grade of execution. But I'm pretty sure that touch is a seismic way to drop the GOE for that. But stop. Can't touch this.
Well, as you
Perfect way
mentioned,
to
I think
finish.
this is probably going to top their personal best to this point in their career anyways, early on.
So our litany of amazing Italian ice dancers continues as Pasquale Carmalengo joins the team. Their actual coach is Gallai Moraci, who's back home. She's working hard with some of the other teams that they have from that stable going out later in the season. Great to see Pasquale. So we've seen Luca Lanotte, Pasquale Carmalengo, 2. There are more to come. More Italian ice dance coaches.
You're a Scot. I'm a Canadian. At least we're starting to break that pattern of Italians. You know, we're here.
Yeah, as we're surrounded by them.
Yeah, our crew. Yeah, speak nice. Yeah, anxiously waiting for those scores to see if there's any, reaction to that one touch of the midline steps. But overall, I think this is going to be a better score than what they have done so far.
Yeah,
And that's the whole thing, is making progress in your own performance.
progress, and I suppose especially when you, as I say, consider how shorter space of time it has been that Maria and Dmytriy have been working together. Progress, which is tangible, but also positive experience to justify. It's hard to compete at this level, and there's a lot of expense and time and energy committed, so positive experience.
Well, there it is, the season's best, 43.30, and that'll put Maria and Dmytriy currently into 7th place. Not from an overall what they were hoping for, but it is progress made in their own personal journey
From Riga.
with their scores. Yeah, from Riga.
I wonder what they had at Lake Placid. Maybe there's a reference point that was higher elsewhere.
There's the next team representing Spain, both 19 years of age. Laura Sundberg and Hector Gonzalez Elvira.
And fascinating story for Lara and Hector. She was a junior world champion in synchronized skating with Team Fantastic. And now taking all the greatness from synchronized skating skills into this partnership with Hector. Lara Sundberg and Hector Gonzalez Elvira from Spain complete their first junior Grand Prix, and they couldn't compete last season because they had to wait for Lara's release from skating for Finland in the synchronized skating. But now you're seeing the collaboration more formed, more established, more grounded together in unity, and both independently solid skaters. Good to see. Good, and they're what appears to be, as they leave the ice, a real good friendship and respect as they share a high five. And now Hector's studying computer maths remotely since moving to Finland, and he's even coaching ice hockey in Finland.
Hey, he's coaching ice hockey.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Happy to know that.
I think I told you that Olympic champion is now an NHL coach.
Yeah,
David Pelche. We'll talk about that later. Carry on.
This was a fun transitional entry into the Twizzles, and a comfortable level 4 assigned for both. You can see just a little lack of synchronicity, so that will impact upon the grade of execution, but it still remains in the positives. So you see transitional difficult entry into the rotational lift, that a change of pose, and they'll just continue to work on the smoothness of the transitions to boost the grade of execution. As we see, it's interesting to see some of the teams just looking down at their feet, that either just to be cautious or perhaps to see how cleanly they can deliver that key point, knowing the value of that within the rumba element. The backflip, we've seen some backflips and pair skating. Backflips are du jour.
Yeah,
Singles, pair,
exactly. Yeah.
dance.
Explore.
So there's Neil Brown coaching with them, and they also have Maurizio Margalli on their coaching staff, another Italian ice dancer.
There you go. The Italians are kind of invading.
Yeah, they're dominating this ice dance influence.
Let's take a look at the scores. This team. There it is, 48.91 for Lara and Hector. That'll put them currently into 6th place. And they look pretty happy with that. That's so important. Enjoy the process. Well, there's our next team, and they represent Italy. 14-year-old Arianna Soldati and a 19-year-old Nicholas Tagliabue. This is their very first junior Grand Prix event. They're ranked 4th in junior at the Italian Nationals.
And Arianna and Nicholas Oskate are going to make you sweat and get ready. Ariana Soldati and Nicholas Taliabu embracing the chance to compete in their first Junior Grand Prix in their home country. And I'm just thinking, is it really their first Junior Grand Prix? Because this was a strong, strong team. And
Yeah, where they been?
yeah, I'm thinking, where have you been? You guys were fantastic. And I love the costume with Ariana and Nicholas, the AN, personalizing their 1990s costume for the rhythm dance. Solid team, well trained, well taught. With you can see the influence of the Italian coaches Roberto Pellazzola and Barbara Fusapoli when it comes to the compulsory dance, or the pattern dance section in particular. Really mindful of that awareness of tracking and relationship to one another, as we see some major energy. So here's the quick step. Having a look at the quick step, this closed Choctaw, that's a key point. And unfortunately on this occasion neither saw it. We're about to see the key point for the women. So this part here, the left forward inside edge step forward for Ariana, this edge, and this right inside edge, that's her key point. And then the man has a different one, where there's a little change of edge here, a little sneaky change of edge, and that is a key point, just a slight change of edge, but that can have a big impact on the score. And so with these pattern dance sections, there's about 3/4 of a point for each of those key points that will boost the tech score. So
It's amazing, such minute detail. Difficult to see from the angle that the technical panel is at. Wow, that's not easy.
Really, just, you know, a couple of steps as we see. Wonderful to see it. Naomi was reacting, one of the wonderful members of our team here was reacting to that difficult entry into the station lift. It took you by surprise.
She liked it. She wants to try it later with you.
Oh,
I think you're the dance guy.
+5 grade of execution for that.
Could be
Naomi.
let's get the medical staff in here.
Yeah. I'll keep you safe, don't worry.
Okay. Let's take a look at the score. Yeah, they don't have a personal best score. Of course, this is new for them, but they're going to have a good score here. Like, this could be a bit of a surprise.
Okay, so now we've got Roberto Pellazzola. So how many Italian ice dance coaches
too
have we
many.
had here? It's just
too
amazing.
many Italian dance coaches here. Oh, there we go. Not too many. There's never too many. Never too many Italians, as we're surrounded by them right now.
And it's really interesting when I think of Roberto. I remember seeing him with likes of so many great Italian ice dance teams pre this system and still using good quality.
Check out the reaction here. 58.32. They're going, whoa, that's pretty good.
And I think the ranking's pretty good too.
No kidding. They're in first place after 2 groups, 2 yet to come, but what a great start for this team. And there's a look at your leaderboard, your top 5 so far. They've got just about 3/4 of a point lead on Annelise and Maxim. Wow, good start. Mark, we've got video playback as we take a look at the standings so far. Your top 5 there. What do we got?
Chance during this ice resurface to check back in with our must-watch moments from Ankara, the second stage of the Junior Grand Prix, and then also within this ice resurface, an interview with the winners Irina Pidgena and Artem Koval.
I hope you enjoy those video playback. We'll be back from Varese, Italy, right after this. Welcome to the must-watch moments from Ankara, an exciting event in the men's, pairs, women's, and dance. Mark, let's talk a little bit about the men's event.
The men's must-watch moment goes to the champion from Korea, Min-Kyu Seo, the former junior world champion, coming into the form of his life and achieving a personal best in the free skate in Ankara to take the title, 15 points towards his participation in the final.
And in the women's event, Mayuko Oka of Japan, a shy young skater coming here just to enjoy the competition, ends up taking this title, and shy as she was thrilled with her performance.
The ice dance must-watch moment goes to the champions from Ukraine, Irina Pidgena and Artem Koval. They came into this event as the heavy favourites, and they lived up to that expectation by taking 15 points on the Junior Grand Prix Series this year and the title in Ankara.
In the pairs event, Eva Kemp and Jonathan Elizarov of Canada won their second title in as many weeks. They were behind after the short program, but skated a brilliant free to take the title here in Ankara.
A must-watch moment has to go to America's Sofia Bezkorovanaya, who dedicated her performance to her best friend Everdy Livingston and Inna Volyanskaya, her former coach, who both tragically lost their lives earlier this year on flight 5342.
My extra must-watch moment from Ankara is Lelou Remesson from Belgium, who skated to the Wednesday Addams theme and was so convincing and compelling in that overall performance. Here in Ankara with the ice dance champions Irina Petgina and Artem Koval from the Ukraine. Fantastic job, exciting. And I was talking to Mark, of course, as we were covering the event, and he was mentioning they had a lot of injuries earlier on in the season. You're back on the ice. How would you rate that performance?
I think it's like 7 of 10 because we have like some mistakes there, like which we of course didn't expect. So we now know on which element we should work, and for us, I think it's like not bad, but it not exactly start. Like it's good.
Okay. That's good. Okay, I want to ask you about that lift in the choreographic step sequence coming towards the judges when you have her over. She almost sits on your shoulder and then slides off. That's an amazing. Who created that?
Max Nikitin and Alexander Nazarova.
That's what Mark thought. Exactly. Okay, now that you move into the season, of course, some of the teams that were in front of you last year have split up or moved into seniors. You know, do you feel any more pressure being kind of the leaders coming into the season? And what are your thoughts on the whole season coming up?
I think mostly we feel pressure about our skating because now we want to be on the top, but you really need to push and go through it, and it's pretty hard because I had really heavy sickness after the Debrecen World Championships, so I'm really happy to come back and skate and take this medal.
Well, I think we're all pulling for you. You did a terrific job here in this competition. We look forward to seeing you in Gdansk, right? In Gdansk. Yes. And we wish you the very best of luck this season. The champions here in Ankara. back in Varese, Italy. First day of competition, group number 3 in the rhythm dance coming up as we take a look at the standings so far in this event. I'm Ted Barton along with Mark Hanratty. Joining me here live ringside.
Yes, and we are celebrating the success of the Italian ice dancers in Italy. So
Yeah.
those that have been listening to us for multiple weeks will know that we are joined by a wonderful group of Italians in the production team. So they were very happy to note that it is the Italian flag that leads the field.
So far, two
So
groups,
far.
two groups
So
to come.
far.
And just a little note, and we move on to Bangkok, Thailand tomorrow, or I guess on Sunday. Mark will be working from home on the broadcast. I'll be in Bangkok. Then both of us will go on to Beijing to cover the Olympic qualifying event, the skate to Milano, I believe. And then I will move on to Baku, Azerbaijan. Mark will work from home. We will both be doing Gdansk and the final Junior Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi. So lots still to come.
But that's all dependent upon me completing this visa and making sure that I get it in the limited time at home.
Yep.
So if anybody wants, I feel like I can confirm as we watch these wonderful skaters that I have an awareness of what they need to do and can commentate comfortably. What I am not so great at, obviously, is this visa application. However, Ted, it looks like that will be hopefully coming through on Monday as I look at one screen with the visa application to my right and one screen looking at these wonderful ice dancers.
You are going to be in such trouble if you don't get that visa, because I reminded you and you said, "Oh, really? I have an invitation. I don't need a visa." And then you said, "No, you need a visa."
Oh, there we go. It was the lack of payment I hadn't paid. That's why that's not.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
No, it's not.
Did you just pay now?
I am not so good at multitasking, as we know. So during the next ice resurface, I will
Oh my gosh, you'll forget that. You'll start talking to some of the Italians and you won't remember. I know. Just pay it now. I'll talk. No, not during dance. Let's
Not
go.
during this event.
Okay. Do we have any questions coming in, Mark?
Yes, we do indeed, and thank you to those that have sent in questions. So some viewers on this YouTube channel have asked us how those can be sent in, and you can do that through the International Skating Union's Instagram, and they have posted a question on their story, and that's where you can make those questions.
Don't they have
sent
kind of a strange picture about the two of us?
It's I actually I went full diva as we watched the ice dance event, where divaness is totally embraced.
Is there anything less than full diva for you?
ice dancer, yeah, total diva. And I requested a different picture because we had one still from last week, so last year. So a new picture has been released. I don't know why they have to post it. Well, I suppose
I'd probably like to keep the older ones.
You've hit that point where the
yeah, exactly. You lose every year out.
So yes, questions. Thank you to those that have sent them in. Question from @EZGIUSKUL. How did you like the Ankara event and the organisation? Now, obviously, I was not on site, so Ted, can you relay how it went last week?
It's great. The neat thing about this, about the Turkish Skating Federation and figure skating in Turkey, is that the energy it reminds me of this 80s and 90s in Canada, when there was this great momentum of people, both in the clubs, in the association, with television and sponsors, and everyone is excited about having our country represented in figure skating. We had a great history already anyways, but there was this wonderful movement, and that's what's happening right now in Turkey. You've got a huge energy by the volunteers, great support from the government of Turkey, and more skaters. Now we saw some really good young women do triple flip and triple lutz, age of 13. Just amazing. The dance team, of course, has moved up to 3 or 4 spots from last season, and the man as well. Yeah, I think he became 5th or 4th. Fourth, yeah.
Best
so
ever.
They are doing extremely well, fueled by this huge amount of energy. And of course, it was the victory day, the celebration day within this week, the marching bands in there. And it was great. It was really great. And Turkey is really a wonderful country to visit. Unfortunately, I don't get any time to see the things I want to see. But what I do see, it's clean, it's safe, it's really lovely.
And now here in Varese, great to be in this venue, the A5 Arena, which was the host rink for the Italian National Championships, and it looks utterly beautiful. The mountains are visible, and you can see perhaps just some blue skies and
It reminds me, and Steve actually that's here as well, of the rink that we have in Whistler, British Columbia, which is in one of the great ski resorts of the world. And we always want to host a Junior Grand Prix. The problem is that if you have only one rink, you can only have 3 disciplines, not 4. And so then, and it's 2.5 hours from our airport, but it's the most spectacular drive.
Amazing.
We'd love to have one over there, but it's, yeah. Anyways, this is a beautiful rink. It's pretty new. And you can see outside, obviously, and there's the racetrack with all those horses.
Swimming pool here as well, right? There's a swimming pool attached.
Exactly. It's a municipal facility. Okay, here we go. Group number 3. Well, here, 2 twins, Aniko and Zorad, both are 16 years of age and were 4th in the junior German nationals. They were 10th in week 1 in Riga.
And Eniko and Zoard have Space Jam, Men in Black, and Cosmic Girl as the soundtrack for the Rhythm Dance 2025.
Greeting, Earthlings. We have now taken over your radio.
Eniko Kobar and Zohar Kobar complete a much more successful rhythm dance than that which they performed in Riga. They had a fall and mistakes in the twizzles when they last performed this on the Junior Grand Prix, and so I'm sure they are delighted and somewhat relieved to have given a clean skate comparative to that first Junior Grand Prix of the season. And now they'll have a better assessment and analysis and a kind of awareness of where they are at in the season with a cleaner skate. As
well, you could see the energy stayed throughout the whole program, and once they get past that point where it was a mistake before, but this is a pretty solid skate for this team.
And as we've said before, that the teams on their ISU biographies, we look through these twizzles, they'll have a score from an ISU caliber of event. They may have had higher domestically or some smaller international events, but their ISU PB is 51 points. I think they're going to usurp that with this skate as we see those twizzles that were problematic for them before. So here, the closed chocolate, that step for both partners is a key point. And as I said, each key point around about 3/4 of a point here, left inside and right inside for the woman. So the woman that is assessed on that. And then here, as the man changes it, tucks behind, changes edge and crosses in front. Those edges, the little change of edge, the cross in front, that is a key point. So if the technical panel deem it sufficiently clean, that can add nearly a point to the total score for the skater. So it seems like nothing, but it's definitely something as we look forward to the rest of the season when more of the teams will be trying to get level 4s or even level 3.
And that's what we're talking about. The small details is so difficult for the technical panel to see. They see it, but it's so far away. It's really hard to determine. They do the very best they can with the tools that they have, that's for sure.
Completely. As Coach Stefano Caruso acknowledges something, again, another Italian ice dancer coaching the next generation.
Some invasion.
Yeah. I wonder what the... Oh, look, his tie says help. Stefano looking for help from the judges now for a PB for his team, hopefully.
Not a good message on TV. 52.66 for Nico Inzorad. And that's a season best. And that'll put him currently into 6th place.
Yeah.
They can ask for much more. Season's best.
Clean skate.
Yeah. Progress has been made. And there is a look at our next team, and they represent Switzerland. 16-year-old Leonie Woodley and 18-year-old Tamin David Sunner.
And Leonie and Timon, the Swiss advanced novice champions, moving up to the junior ranks. This their first junior international competition. And they will skate to Ricky Martin and Living La Vida Loca as part of their rhythm dance. Leone and Timon, the Swiss novice champions, as I say, moving up into the junior ranks, a team that has had success at international events in advanced novice. They won the Bavarian Open and they were second at the Enya Dance Trophy. And indeed, many of these teams will have come up against each other in the novice ranks before then, upping and transcending together into the junior competitions. And Leone and Timon now have to find their way in the higher standard of event. And I think they struggled a little bit with the rotation left at the end of the program, but as is the case in singles, it's a step up from novices to juniors. And now
yeah, it is. Out of these 5 elements, 3 are with a minus GOE, so they've taken points away from the base value because of the quality of the execution. The other 2 are fine. So you take a look at
and that's, as I said earlier, that there are positive features and negative features for the judges. And so the distance here between the team and the lack of complete synchronicity is one of the reasons why there's a slight negative GOE on that element. And here, looking at the Ramba, and so you can see they're obviously going for this key point, as all the teams are, just looking down to the ice, maybe not being as expressive or as connected with the music at that part. Maybe one of the reasons why the rumba sequence had a slight negative GOE as well there. But here, good deep edge set into the forward inside counter, and then the twizzle within the non-touch step. And the Ricky Martin energy. As I always think of Tanith Belbin and Benjamin Augusto with this.
Yeah, with that lift.
Yeah.
True, absolutely.
And actually, Tanith and Ben did Latin in 2006 on route to their Olympic silver, so maybe they've been watching some of.
I think we have them also in that.
In the montage?
In the montage,
yeah. All these.
There we go.
Leone and Timon and all the teams should be researching all of these greats from the past as Coach Claudia joins them. Yeah, Coach just representing the nation. She needs to turn her arm the other way, though, doesn't she, for the Swiss SUI, for the Switzerland. As you think back about the lineage of ice dancers, and I don't know if a Swiss ice dance, I can't think of a Swiss world medalist in ice dance. I'm not sure. I have to trace back through the history books to see. So we have those seen. However, that said, we have recently seen success for Switzerland on the Junior Grand Prix.
Well, that country's doing pretty well in the development of the year, in particularly in juniors, in women and men.
Yes.
And I think you're going to dance. I guess some young dancers coming up as well, some pair teams as well. So they've got a, sort of a next-gen program, if you will. Let's take a look at the scores. And there they are, 45.50 for Leone and Timon. And that'll put them currently in the 9th place. Well, our next team represents, guess what? Italy. Martina Lavazza and Rafael Raymond Meunier. 17 years old. It's their first Junior Grand Prix season. They're coached by Walter Rizzo, very quiet guy.
Yeah, Walter involved with the creation of the Junior World Champions, Noemi Maria Tale and Noah Lafornara, as Martina and Rafael hope to follow and the previous success of their compatriots who were so wonderful last season. Skating to man, I feel like a woman, and I'm blue.
Let's go, girls. Come on. I'm going out tonight. I'm feeling alright. Go let it out. Mornings and noise, we raise the voice. Yeah, I wanna scream and shout.
Martina Lavazza and Rafael Raymond Munier representing the host nation, and the host nation can offer more entries based on hosting the event, but the success of the Italian ice dancers in the Junior World Championships last year has facilitated more representation for Italy on the Junior Grand Prix this year in this discipline. And you can see with Martina and Rafael just the there it is, there are the Junior World Champions there in the Noemi Maria Talenoa La Fornara.
Oh wow.
Right of the screen. I wonder how it feels for them now. They've fantastic to see them supporting, and they will be training mates, I assume, with Martina and Rafael, because they share the same coaching staff. Oh, good catch from the team there. Bravo Manolo. And just looking back for Martina and Rafael, I was really aware of the obvious work that they've done on being a team and kind of quality ice dance relationship to one another. This less strong for them when it came to the twizzles, a little cautious, perhaps a little less defined in their positioning. But good stroke there on the right forward outside 3 turn from Rafael. Good use of blade. Here you can see the Killian. Oh, a little mistake. I forgot. Oh, what a shame. Little catch of the toe pick there for Rafael. But you can see the Killian hold, the hold between the partners. Just looks well taught, well trained, and good example of dance hold, and certainly a very good example of staying close to one another. That's a positive feature for this non-touch step sequence as they work through some of the difficult turns. And this is the first Junior Grand Prix for Martina and Rafael, so this gives them a true indication of where they are at on the junior circuit. They've done lots of junior events internationally, but none of this kind of caliber.
Yeah, it's always a good check mark. Well, where do we stand with the best in the juniors? And that's important data and information to know. Okay, we're in this spot. What's the difference? Where's the points? And they analyze the scores and they say, okay, we got to improve this and this. It's so good for so many reasons, but to build their next strategy of improvement.
And so, he's still so young, 17 years old.
Yeah, lots of time. 45.10 for Martina and Rafael, and that'll put them currently into 10th place. And there is our next team representing Germany, 18-year-old Alexia Kruk and 20-year-old Jan Heisenhaber. Second Junior Grand Prix season, Germany's junior silver medalists, and they're coached by Stefano Caruso.
And this team didn't have the skates arrive. I believe it was Alexia's skates. They didn't arrive, so they had a lot of anxiety and worry about whether or not they'd be able to compete. Fortunately, as you can see, skates arrived just in time.
Un pasito pa'lante, María. 1, 2, 3. Un pasito para atrás.
Alexia Kruk and Jan Eisenhaber from Germany. And this team, Ted, I think they must have worked so hard in the off-season. I know that they went to Lake Placid and they competed in the international ice dance competition there. As you see, their training mates, not just their compatriots, but their training mates, the brother and sister Cobart team supporting them. And everything about the program just looked to have been given extra detail and finesse and refinement. The non-touch, or so it was a diagonal step that this team performed, looked to have had so much work done off the ice, a sense and awareness of the Latin vibe that they were showcasing. I guess that somebody's been helping them with the clarity and definition of that, or just simply a great job by Robin and Stefano, their coaching staff. As we see the Twizzles. So it's a level 2 that's been assigned to Alexia for that. It's under review though currently. As we see, so this, I'd love to listen in, Ted. Maybe you can see what's happening, because it did look like it was intending to be a straight line left. Took a while before it found its curve. But here, really impressed by the team's work on the definition of each arm movement, head movement there, whilst obviously still trying to push those difficult turns, and they achieved a level 2 each. So technically well done, and also boosting the presentation component. As you see the German team leader and their coach Stefano join them in the kiss and cry. It's like coaches, like the skaters. Well, when your coach is an Olympian, you don't mind looking like them, but it certainly looks like Jan is becoming more and more like Stefano. No bad thing. As they sit side by side in the kiss and cry. So the team have a personal best from Ljubljana and Slovenia last year. It was a 52.11. And it's very tight in this competition. We've got lots of skaters with similar scores. There are a bunch of skaters between 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th are all in quite close proximity of one another. And I don't know how Alexia and Jan are going to intersperse that. 53.96 is the Czech team currently. Hoping to move in and above that, as the team anxiously wait to find out.
Yeah, there was a couple things that were a little bit debatable and discussed and then decided on in the technical panel, so it didn't make it perfectly clear. You always talk about that. If the teams or the individual skater makes it perfectly clear, there isn't an issue, not even a review.
Yeah.
But when it's a little bit one way or the other, could be seen, they take a review, they see something a little closer, they have a discussion, and that could change. So here's a look at the
53.63, so they're just 0.3 of a point off the place above them, keeping it really close for the free dance.
There's the next team representing Great Britain, 16-year-old Annabelle Nan and 17-year-old Jack Hammond. They're coached by Lloyd Jones. Not much in regard to international competition yet. This is their first Junior Grand Prix event.
And Annabelle and Jack skate to the Shoop Shoop song and Strong Enough. Annabelle Mann and Jack Hammond. You can see Annabelle just going back through the performance, not quite sure exactly what happened, but it was interesting in seeing how this team has tackled this season. They've been working hard, as they all do, and then they went to the ice dance event in Dordrecht, and their coach Lloyd was explaining they just had a nightmare performance, falls, mistakes, littered with mistakes that they haven't had in practice, and that's just, you know, something that is an evolutionary part of competing internationally. And you know, Lloyd, their coach, was explaining what happens in practice isn't always what will happen in competition.
Yeah, for sure. And here, although probably they didn't have any falls or whatnot, there were still some little stumbles here and there. So maybe they're carrying their not negativity, but their uncertainty forward into this performance as well. And they'll break through that. They will, as the training, continues on.
And there'll be part of it, I'm sure, will be their desperation to try to represent themselves as well as possible. And sometimes that tightens you up. But you can just see checked turns a little bit there, impacting the rotations on the twizzle. This was great, difficult entry, well done. To the rotational lift, which comes through it. That's the best of the elements. So of the 5 elements, that's the one that has the positive grade of execution. Here you can just see a little whoopsie, but fortunately just in transitional content.
Right in here as well, there's just a little loss of balance by Jack coming up right here. That looked good right in there, but right in there just almost went back, but hung on.
And this team, they've been together a couple of years, but until just 2 months ago, they only skated 3 days a week. So they, weren't able to give the kind of commitment that is probably necessary at this level. But now they're on that stage where they'll start to expect that.
Well, they probably had, couldn't give the amount of time. They probably have commitment with the time that they have, right?
Yeah.
But they couldn't give the amount of time that was necessary to.
And that can be geographical as the teams chase the ice and chase the coaching that they've got with Lloyd, and so many factors have to come to fruition, but they look good together. They're a good team together, good age together, great coach.
Yeah.
You know, they've got all these factors that just need to be worked through.
Yeah, and they, we've seen this happen with so many skaters in the juniors, not just in dancing and all of it. Struggle through some performances, and then they have a breakthrough performance, gain the confidence, and then they just take off from there.
And I mean, I remember seeing the Swiss team that went on to medal at Junior Grand Prix a couple of seasons ago, and they'd shown a video of when they competed at the European Youth Olympic Games where the commentator said this is the best they'll ever get, and yet a few seasons later they were winning medals.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, we don't say that. 38.05 for Annabelle and Jack. That'll put them currently into 15th place. Certainly not. It's better than maybe the last outing, and but still some work to do to gain some confidence. And that concludes the group number 3 with one final group as they stand by the boards ready to get onto the ice for their warm-up as we take a look at the standings so far after 3 groups. Still led by the Italian team of Ariana and Nicholas, followed by a team from the United States and Canada.
Oh, we've got some good questions.
Okay.
Actually,
fire away.
Questions that are thought-provoking for me too, and you may have the answers.
What is that all about? Thought-provoking for you, and I may have the answers.
You may know because
that's a scapegoat, man.
Yeah, I'm totally throwing it over to you because I'm owning my own ignorance.
No, you're not. You're protecting yourself. Don't do that. Okay, just kidding. Okay, let's go.
Straight through this.
I don't totally do.
The question is, actually, I remember seeing it earlier, and I can't find the question itself from who's sent it through, but grateful to those that are sending in these questions. Why do men have black skates and women have white skates?
Well, in the old days, the women had black skates.
Yes.
And the men had black skates.
Sonia Henny, wasn't she the... Oh, I did know. See? I didn't need to panic.
No, I reminded you. You didn't know.
Fair.
Okay, well, you knew, but it was...
You gave me the impetus to remember.
It was in a big filing cabinet somewhere in your head.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they did have black skates. I don't know why. It's a good question. I've known this. I've forgotten it. Why it changed to white skates for the women, but they did used to have all black skates.
Well, there'll be a skating historian that will be able to confirm or corroborate. But now that you've helped me to remember, I was under the belief that, as you rightly said, Madge Sayers, who is the British woman who competed in the men's event in the Olympic Games in the early 20th century, She would have worn black skates. And then Sonia Henney, the most successful ever figure skater, alongside Irina Rodnina, 3 Olympic gold medals. I think she was the first to wear the white skates and popularize
Yeah,
it.
could be. Yeah.
But then you get some skaters like Oksana Grishuk, 1994 1998 Olympic ice dance champion, who
They were
dyed her
beige
skates
ones.
blue.
Oh, blue. Yeah.
For the
and
freelance.
a lot have beige too.
Yeah.
The length and the
Leg length.
the leg length. Yeah. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, so that was an interesting one.
I had to divert him on to another question here.
Yes, the question now coming in from Kat Gilbert. If you could choose a compulsory pattern for the rhythm dance next season, which would you pick?
That's your question.
Okay. I said it, but I kind of knew it would be for me. So in terms of the rhythm dance, so just to be clear, because we're not sure exactly who's listening and how much ice dance education they've got, our sport, this discipline within figure skating, previously comprised largely of what were called compulsory dances, which were steps that all the teams would have to perform to the same tempo. And then as the sport has progressed, those steps have become a part of another aspect, previously short dance and now rhythm dance. So this year we are seeing the rumba and the quick step as the compulsory pattern dances used. They were first created in 1938. In terms of the number of compulsory pattern dances that are in the history books, my favorite was one called the Tango Romantica. And that was used in the, I think it was in the, well, it was last performed in the Vancouver Olympics in 2010. And it was, I think, used in rhythm dances, short dances previously. And actually there's an aspect of that dance which will be seen in seniors this year, but that's, yeah, Tango Romantica.
Mark, you're killing me here. What was the question again?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
I'm just filling time.
Yeah,
here.
no, it's
Bah.
like, okay, good history stuff. Was it relevant to the question? I think it was, wasn't it?
Was it Tango Romantica? Okay, I could have just
Okay.
said, I could have said Tango Romantica and left
There you go.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what's up next?
Do you want me to, I think I know who made it, and it was made in the 70s. Anyway, moving on. Okay, next question. What?
No more coffee between, okay? No more coffee.
What, from Hive of B, what theme would you like to see in the future for a rhythm dance?
That's a really good question. I mean, I'd like to ask the question back to the
Yes,
fans. What do you want to
yes.
see? I mean,
Good point.
you know, you're the fans. You know, what would really excite you? What would be interesting for you?
That's a great point.
No, it's a great way to avoid answering the question.
There we go, batting it back.
That's well done.
I would quite like to see, over the last few seasons, we've seen decades or music periods. In time previous or prior to that, there was a dance style that was chosen. So you would have maybe tango or what have we had? We've had.
What about breakdancing? Is that possible?
Well, that was an option, wasn't there? The hip hop season in the last Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, breakdancing, but then there'd be a lot of sliding about getting cold. Not sure how I feel about that. I actually.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, what we feel.
You make me laugh.
I really like tango, but the problem is, I think the Ice Dance Technical Committee were right in acknowledging if you have 24 or 30 tangos in a World Championships, for people that are maybe new to the sport, that can get a little bit heavy and intense.
It's pretty intense. Like, that is intense. Tango's great, but 20 of them is sort of like, okay, I'm getting scared.
Yeah.
You know, like, I got to get out of here.
Like,
yeah, I
give me
don't
some
know.
joy.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But we'd be interested in people's other input. Like, send us your thoughts on what you'd like to see or hear.
And one of the great things about this season with the 1990s that all the teams must use, it's not just music from the 1990s, but they want to have uplifting energy.
Mm-hmm. So far, I think it's kind of been that.
Absolutely.
Okay, our next team, there they are, represent Sweden, 20-year-old Charlotte Chung and 21-year-old Axel McKenzie, both born in Toronto and representing Canada up until 2023. This is their first Junior Grand Prix event. They're coached by Carol Lane and her team.
And tomorrow, Axel will turn 21, so celebrating his final day as a 20-year-old as they skate to Baby One More Time.
You go.
Charlotte Chung and Axel McKenzie complete their rhythm dance. Destiny's Child, the soundtrack, great music choice. And you may remember seeing Axel's sister competing last week, Anna McKenzie. So the sibling, very healthy rivalry.
And we've talked a lot about this, that, there's seems to be a lot of families, brothers and sister teams, or brothers and sisters on different teams, and some of the parents, many of the coaches happen to be the parents of the kids as well, right?
Yeah, the family affair.
Yeah, it is. Well, it takes a long time and a lot of commitment.
So here, working through the twizzles, and you can just see losing unison here as they stay on one foot. And it's such a challenge to make sure that you're getting your level, because the skaters will achieve a level themselves independently, but also trying to achieve a grade of execution together that serves them as we work through the rumba. And key points, the right inside 3-turn. Theoretically, it should be somewhat easy to get the correct steps, the correct edges, the correct timing, but the clarity and depth of edge required by the panel makes it difficult to achieve those extra points on these compulsory pattern dance elements within the rhythm dance. As Coach Caroline joins them. Skating fans will be familiar with seeing her in the Kiss and Cry. Yeah,
she's done so many, her and her team have coached so many good teams in Canada. Of course, we've got the top team in our country with Carol and her team, as many other juniors and novices as well. So she's been such a great contributor. Their team has been such a great contributor in ice dance in Canada for so many years. But she also does commentary for CBC Television on Olympics and Worlds, so she knows our world as well.
As so many of the coaches have committed their life to the sport and now committing it to hopefully the joy of others.
Yeah, and here they're starting young teams. 40.21 for Charlotte and Axel. That'll put them currently into 15th place. Well, our next team represents Ukraine, 18-year-old Miroslava Kravchenko and 19-year-old Ricardo Peshka, second junior Grand Prix season. They were 13th last year in Gdansk. They're coached by Matteo Zani.
Great to see Miroslava and Ricardo. They were forced to pull out of Riga due to a shoulder injury for Ricardo. Wonderful to see them back.
Dreams to survive. Dreams make a wish come true. Oh, keep your dreams alive. Dream, dream on. Your dream will come alive. Come on, dream on. Come on, dream on. Come on, dream on, boy. Your dream will come alive. Come on, dream on. Come on, dream on. Come on, dream on, boy. Your dream will come alive. 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 Your dream will come alive.
Miroslava Kravchenko and Ricardo Pesca representing Ukraine, doing an incredible job of coming back from the disappointment of that horrible start to the program. And I think it's just so important to acknowledge that this team have had a really rough couple of weeks. They travelled to Riga, they did a couple of practices there, but the pain was just unbearable for Ricardo, and that's obviously hampered their preparation and perhaps that, you know, a better understanding of why they had that mistake, perhaps just too much pent-up energy trying to get through safely.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough start to the season, but you can see the qualities once they got a little bit more comfortable, a little bit further away from that fall. They had better skating skills, more ice coverage, and more energy, but this is not easy. You can see they started great, but you'll see. Let's see what happens here. Right there. Oh, she catches the heel, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to see it again,
Yeah.
but just you can't account for that kind of mistake. And of course, I suppose we're fortunate that it didn't happen within the element, because that would have had a bigger impact. But you can see just an extra rotation there from Ricardo, and it took a while, sort of emotionally and energetically, to connect again, because the team has worked so hard to be here at the Junior Grand Prix. They'll have been dismayed to have been forced to pull out of Riga, and they just wanted to represent themselves as best as they can. And of course, they'll know that that opening mistake makes it very difficult for them to stay competitive because of the mandatory 2-point deduction that it had. There, the rotational lift feature, rotating in one leg for Ricardo, and that currently under review. That's coming in at level 3 instead of the expected level 4.
So when you were talking about how many mistakes you were making during
During my
your
career.
So how did you carry that? Like, if you made a mistake, I mean, what happened to you inside?
Oh, absolutely, undoubtedly for me, because I used to make mistakes in competition with my partner, that then it did become a hang-up, and it took a long time for me to then eradicate that from my brain space. I would go into the next event thinking, oh my goodness, I'm developing a reputation as being a skater that makes mistakes in competition, and it became, the elephant in my brain. And then it's the mental work done, the visualization work done, the psychological work done to try to recalibrate the brain space to think positively and access the best version of yourself under the pressure of competition.
And did it work?
I did. Like the last season, I think in the final season I didn't make.
Okay, your voice is dropping off here, so you're not giving me too much confidence.
Well, as with everything, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I think
Yeah.
all that I know now, I could have been Sonia Henny, 3-time Olympic champion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is a difficult thing because, especially at that age or stage of life, you sometimes have your own self-doubt, and then a mistake happens. You think it's you. It's not you. You know, it's just part of the journey.
And we
And
can
how do you learn how to forget it?
Yeah.
And move forward, right? Tough one. It's very tough. And very unfortunate because how do they carry forward? You know, it's a good team. They've
Good
got some good. You know, they've got some good skills. As you see them currently in 16th place with a 39.46. There is our next team. Elizaveta Lisova, 14 years old. And Jakub Janicki is 17. This is their first Junior Grand Prix event. Looks like not a lot of international competition to date.
No me ames porque piensas que parezco diferente.
Tú no piensas que es lo justo ver pasar el tiempo juntos.
No me ames que comprendo la mentira que sería.
Si tu amor no merezco, no me ames, más quédate otro día. Let's get
Poland's Elizaveta Lisova and Jakub Janicki complete the rhythm dance, and they had real struggles with the twizzles and yet a curve lift that was so impressive. That
You were going, whoa.
Oh my goodness, that was amazing.
Yeah. And I kind of missed a little bit of the twizzle. So
oh, you did that for them.
Yeah.
And great to see the exploitation of where they're comfortable. It looked like Jakub really happy to use lifts as transitional content to punctuate the music from Elizaveta and Jakub. And a team that just 14 and 17, so very young in the ice dance and so many years ahead of them then in the competitive junior ranks in ice dance, and so much opportunity now at this event to learn, and they've done well to get themselves ready in anticipation of this event, and now just need to keep working on the fundamental basic skating skills. Now here, that break in the rotation for Jacob after one rotation means that it can be at most level 1 for him on that element. And here, difficult entry, there's a whole lot going on there. That was fab. Now, if they're dependent upon the split feature as the level, that's under review now. Currently coming in at a level 4, but certainly the difficult entry was really impressive. And here, as we look back at the non-touch step, they're doing like all the teams, working on the difficult turns there, counter. We saw Choctaw. It's just also having to be mindful of the quality of the way in which the blade leaves the ice. So every push that they take, trying to cultivate more grip into the ice to get more glide and more flow. And that can be done a little bit more readily and easily in the off-season rather than partway through the season.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of history, so we don't have a personal best score. So this will sort of start their journey in junior Grand Prix events and get a score out there to build on from.
Yeah, and they've done it alongside their coach, Justina Potowska. They've done a great job, and Jeremy Fleming, they've done a great job in getting ready, having the 1990s, getting the costume, getting the choreography, and now it's not always so easy now to make those fundamental improvements, but hopefully this will give them, real catalyst for maybe even training, finding more off-ice time to train, or more pre- and post-training time to cement their skating skills off the ice.
And it's so amazing when new teams or new skaters come into the event and they have sort of an idea of what it's going to be and where they're kind of at, and then they have their skate and where do they feel, it's all confusing because where do we stand amongst everyone else, and then was that our best, or no, it wasn't, so how do we know where we stand amongst the rest? It's all those type of emotions and questions or self-questions that they have that make it confusing, but that's where the coach guides them.
And that's where, this is just all such learning. We're going to see the Olympic Games later this season. We will see the world's best. We're going
Which
to see
started here.
Exactly. Yeah. Chuck and Bates, 3-time world champions. They were on the junior ranks at one stage too, and they had lots of learning opportunities from this to grow too. So, who knows? Elizaveta Lisova, Jakub Janicki. I believe everybody's able to carve and shape their own destiny. So with more and more practice, more and more success.
Just takes time, a lot of time. 32.71. That'll put them currently into 18th place. Not what they're looking for, but that's the start of the journey, and there'll be many more ups and downs and all arounds. That's what it is. From the United States of America, Jasmine Robertson and Chase Roner, 16 and 17 years of age. They had a great start to the season by coming third in Riga week 1. They'll like to have a first or a second here to try to have a good shot at the Junior Grand Prix final in Nagoya.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Oh, sorry. I saw your script. Here we go.
When we're done, satisfaction of what's to come. I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. Your groove, I do deeply dig. No walls, only the bridge. My supper dish, my crocketesh wish. I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another.
From the back to the middle and around again. I'm gonna be there till the end. 100% pure love. From the back to the middle and around again. I'm gonna be there till the end. 100% pure love.
Jasmine Robertson and Chase Roner from the United States of America. And it's so interesting, Ted, because I'm wondering now to myself, does it look so much better because I now deem them differently because I know they were bronze medalists in Riga, or had this team just worked very hard in the 2 weeks since their first Junior Grand Prix in this?
Off air, I said to him, I said, it looks like they've been skating for a long time together because the unison was good. They were really close. They weren't reaching for each other. Like, it really looked solid. But then you told me it's only been like a year.
Got together in May.
In May, okay. Well,
so
that's crazy. That's crazy good for that much time.
And just everything looked crisper, and Jasmine just appeared, certainly from memory, I need to go back and look at the Riga performance, but just seems so much more crisp and confident to express. Chase too, and perhaps it's the success that they had in Riga which has allowed just the energy around the team to be so much more bold. Even just going through the key point, this team, irrespective of whether the key point was called or not, gave me better presentation throughout it. So from a components perspective, it was immediately going to be higher than that of the others.
Yeah, really good job.
It's so interesting. I'm now looking at the results, and Jasmine and Chase, to me, the presentation component of this, that was amazing. We can't hear the music, but that little dance block was so perfectly on point with the music.
And look how close they are here. Keep the same distance, maybe a little drift there, but not much. Good deep edges, nice distance between. Nice little jump up into the rotational.
Yeah, that one of the features for the level 4, and huge grades of execution comparative to the others that have skated already to boost that technical element score. Looking at this, the results, for me, Jasmine and Chase, possibly the best presentation of the top ones. I would say perhaps Summer Homick and Nicholas Buelow the best composition, and the skating skills the best of the French team in 6. So to me, we've got so many young teams that are still developing and honing and bringing different aspects to the competition.
56.91 is their personal best, earning that this year.
Just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. But this is a 62.08. Look at that, just like, okay, that's good. I'm nodding that approval. That's awesome. No high fives yet, but we've got a nod of approval. It's
we
good.
Could be seeing the first ice dance team fairly securely through to the final.
Yes, absolutely. They're currently in first place with only one team to go. There they are, representing Portugal. Both 17, Claudia Amaro Lotestu and Marco Amaro Lotestu. Twins. And they're used to represent France, but are now skating for Portugal.
And the final team to compete in this 1990s rhythm dance skating around the world, the Funk and Indo Silver Club. Well, I think some semblance of history made there, Ted, because that, I believe, is the first Portuguese ice dance team to compete on the International Skating Union Junior Grand Prix. And so take a bow indeed to the twins, Claudia and Marco Amaro de Testu.
Yeah, nicely done. They trained in France, of course. They've got good training background. There's no question. I thought they did a really nice job making history here.
Yeah, great to see the Portuguese flag being waved in a Junior Grand Prix, an International Skating Union event. So much, whatever the result here of this performance, they should take so much pride in what they do in representing a new nation in the ice dance community.
And I think for them, pretty clean skate.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they have had junior international experience, so they don't come into this completely fresh. In addition, they also train, I believe they train in Paris, so they are exposed to other ice dance teams. Nevertheless, it's great to see. As we look through the non-touch step sequence, it's great to see ice dance representation increasing as well. We've seen single skaters from various different new skating nations, but not always so readily able to happen in.
Well, there is a lot of good ice dance centers around the world now for those nations that don't have even maybe too many rinks or may not have ice dance. So there's a place for people to train outside of that country. But still nice to see the representation here for Portugal, for growing number of countries around the world.
And great. Then shout out to the parents and the twins. Gosh, they. They must have an incredible bond anyway, but then to work together with this level of intensity, and shout out to Antoine Charrier, the coach, and helping them to...
And think about mom and dad. Mom and dad might be here, but if they're not here and they're watching back at home, just the emotions that you would go through watching your son and daughter together. Yeah, pretty cool.
If I imagine watching one of my children perform, it representing the country...
Oh, you'd be a wreck.
I'd total wreck. Two of them, just a blubbering mess.
Blubbering mess, yeah. Great for commentary.
Yeah, you'd have to do it all alone.
Pull you up off the floor, yeah. Blubbering mess. Well said.
So we don't, because they haven't done Junior Grand Prix or an international of this caliber, we don't have a reference point for scores. But as I say, they have competed at the likes of the Bavarian Open in Oberstdorf, and they have had international experience, so they will have their own reference point for what they aspire to achieve.
45.79, and that's 11th, and they look pretty happy with that. I mean, it's a 20-team field, so that's pretty good. That's halfway through the field. It's really well done. As we take a look at the top three, two teams from America and one from Italy, as they shift from first place down to second at the moment.
Wow. Happy days, 1990s rhythm dancers.
Awesome. As we take a look at the standings so far after the rhythm dance, day one here in Varese. Up next will be the men's short program. That will start local time here at 18:45. So that's going to be in just about a half an hour from now. So we get started here. Mark, I'm happy that you joined me here.
I'm very glad. Let's hope you still feel like that in the final day.
Well, but it's going to be fine. But next week you won't be there, so I'm not going to be happy. Anyways, we're going to take a short break. During this break, we'll come back with the men's short program. We'll hope you stay with us and join us.